Professor Richardson, fellow classmates, thanks for giving us the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about Canada Goose, its history, and the role the company currently plays in today's global marketplace and market environment. Now, we're going to start off by telling you a little bit about the company's history and background, because it's important to understand where the company started and where it is today. Now, Canada Goose was founded in 1957 by Sam Tick, and it was named Metro Sportswear. It was actually renamed to Canada Goose a few decades later when his son-in-law David Rice joined in. Eventually, Canada Goose became the go-to winter parka provider for scientists, mountain hikers, people that went to cold expeditions such as in Antarctica, Mount Everest. And it also became the go-to winter wear and jacket for film crews who worked in extreme cold weather conditions. Now, regardless of whether they were part of the crew or even on scene, like a scene with the movie The Day After Tomorrow. Eventually, that embroiderment became associated with staying warm in cold weather conditions. Now, when Danny Rice, the grandson of Sam Tick, joined the company in 1997, Canada Goose started seeing a massive growth. Now, this is a clear example of market penetration because more products were sold within the same market. Now, with the world becoming a more globalized place and other competitors entering the market, Canada Goose had to grow on an international level. Now, as Professor Richardson explained to us in class, companies don't like growing, or they don't necessarily have to grow, but oftentimes they're forced to grow. And the reason behind that is because their competitors are growing. Now, if a competitor grows from another country or another continent, or if a competitor, even if it's a local competitor that grows outside, then they're going to take more market share. And over time, by building more brand equity and brand mind share, they're going to swallow, so to speak, the company of interest. So Canada Goose had to expand. Now, they expanded by opening a store in Europe and opening a store in Asia. Now, mind you, Canada Goose was already well known internationally, but now we're talking about them opening a hub in those continents. So in specific, they opened a location in Tokyo, Japan to serve the Asian market, and in London, UK to serve the European market. Another really interesting thing to point out is their approach to product diversification. So in 2010, Canada Goose actually started innovating by launching new lightweight products that were suitable for diverse climates and high intensity activities. So luxury knitwear, which is quite different from their flagship winter parkers. Also, they made an effort to go furtherless, which is something that Phil is going to actually talk to you guys a little bit about right now. So Phil, why don't you take it away?
Fantastic, Ali. Thank you so much. Great. Let's talk about a little bit about their product pretty much. So Canada Goose, obviously a premium product here. Jackets can go around $350 to about $1,500 a piece, which is pretty steep for a premium product. But like all large companies with great power comes great responsibility. And they're facing, or have been facing for a little while before they made the changes, which I'll talk about in a minute, that, well, it represented inhumane behavior on animals, as jackets are made from duck or geese down, which is an excellent insulator for fur. And of course, how do they get that? Right, by trapping coyotes and of course, geese and duck as well. Certain, I would say, NGOs or other types of organizations had made serious claims against Canada Goose for their cruelty to animals with videos and depictions of them just being completely, it's cruelty for animals. So I need not say very much at all. What did Canada Goose do about this ethical situation? Well, they basically rebranded their entire jacket line and created a new thing called Canada Goose Beyond, with the statement that they are going fur free. This is a huge step for them, and which also reflects to their technological changes as well, as they would have to then not use any type of fur and would then have to use other types of materials to be able to create a more sustainable global product, which includes certain aspects like recycled wool, polymer, Serona polymer, and other combinations to be able to keep people cold without killing the animals as well. So This was a big issue for them for a long time, including there was a trend called Canada Douche, where people then associated Canada Goose wearers for people that were just not, environmentally conscientious, or they were just ignoring the fact that they were literally wearing a piece of a coyote, bluntly saying, on their hoodie. So what Canada Goose did to change this by going fur-free was definitely one of the most radical changes we've seen in this type of market globally as well. And now back to Ali, who's going to talk to us a little bit more about the technological changes they've made to get this going.
Thanks, Felipe. Actually, yeah, it's fascinating. They have come up with this new technology in their stores where they emulate a cold weather environment. So basically they have like an AC filled cold room where customers can go in and try on the jackets and see if it's appropriate for the environment that they're seeking to use the jackets in. I don't know about you, but I'm sure there's been situations where you've been to stores and you tried on summer clothes, but you didn't know how they would react, how they would work in the summer, or winter clothes, and you're like, well, is this going to keep me warm? I don't know. It's warm in the store right now, but I don't know when I go outside. So they actually innovated and came up with a solution where they have a cold room where customers can try on a jacket. Now they actually went the extra mile and they decorated the place and they put like Northern Lights displays. They really put a lot of effort into it, which really goes to show that yes, they may charge up to $1,300 for their jackets. It is a premium jacket. They may even charge more soon, but they're providing customers with the full experience. It's not just a high price tag that you go in there, you buy the jacket, and you leave. No, they're giving you a full concierge service, so you're fully satisfied with your product. The other thing that we wanted to talk to you guys about is the competitive environment that Canada Goose faces. Yes, there's competitors that provide jackets that can do the exact same thing for a much lower price. And yes, there's consumers who don't care what embroiderment there's on the shoulders, but there's also a good amount of people who stand behind the product because they're after quality. Now, as discussed in class and as explained by Professor Richardson, up to 80% of the products or of the jackets are still made in Canada. The only thing that's being offshored are the zippers. Now, zippers, yes, you could say they're not as crucial as the quality of the jacket. So it's not a big deal that it's being shipped or offshored. Talking about offshoring, obviously, it's a topic that we discussed in class, so we thought it's important we bring it up. But essentially, yeah, a lot of people associate the product being built in Canada, developed and sort of manufactured in Canada, being a representation of being high quality. So, a lot of competitors, they've offshored the products, which has diluted the sort of the quality of the product. Really, it's as long as Canada Goose maintains this what's the word, like this commitment to stay true to staying local in Canada, having 80% of the manufacturing done locally, then they will maintain and continue their loyal fan base, because one of the main features of the product is the made in Canada product. And I mean, let's get real, Canada gets cold, so it's kind of like a proof or stamp of proof or stamp of quality that the product's fully made here. It's kind of like made by people who live in cold weathers for people who live in cold weather. So it's a clear example of why a lot of people stick to the Canada Goose brand and why they're willing to pay a high price. So yeah, I mean, we have explained to you guys a little bit about how Canada Goose started. We have explained to you the sort of ethical issues that the company has faced and what they're doing about it, a little bit about the history, as we mentioned, and what the competitive forces they're currently facing. We hope you enjoyed our presentation and that you've learned a little bit more about Canada Goose today. Thank you.
Thank you.